For the 8th time in NNSCRA history, I'm pleased to welcome you to the 8th annual NNSCRA Royal Rumble Special Event. I am your host, Seth Cole, and before we get into it, I want to thank three people in particular, Michael Norman, James Shelley, and Jesse Turner, who all pitched in to the Daytona Dream 2019 GoFundMe fundraiser and have hit us over the $100 mark. Thus, why this special event is taking place. Next special event on tap is at the $200 milestone, which is an endurance race at the Charlotte Roval. If you'd like to contribute to that, to try and get us up to that milestone for that special race to take place, down in the description below is the GoFundMe link. Head over there. Anything you donate will be very appreciated. And now that the niceties are out of the way, let's get down to the rules of today's race. If you've never seen the NNSCRA Royal Rumble before, here's how it's going to go down. We're going to have two drivers start this race. The drivers that ended up randomly drawing entry number 1 and entry number 2. Those drivers will, for the first time in Royal Rumble history, make their way around the racetrack for one lap. Used to be 2 laps, now it's only 1 lap. Once that 1 lap is completed, if both drivers remain on the racetrack, then we will add in entry number 3. This continues on until all 40 of our drivers that have signed up are on the racetrack. Now, another thing that takes place during that 1 lap, though, is eliminations. Eliminations occur in one of 2 ways. You can get eliminated by going out of bounds on the infield. You notice here on the screen behind the text there is a yellow line in the tri-oval here. That is considered out of bounds on the bottom of the racetrack. There's also a yellow line over on the back straightaway. There's a yellow line in the turns. There's a dotted yellow line over towards the entrance of pit road. That is all considered out of bounds. You're eliminated if all 4 of your tires cross over that yellow line. The out of bounds on the outside of the racetrack consists of the racing surface. You will notice that we do not have the grandstands on for this race. It makes it easier to be able to determine if a driver has had all 4 tires leave the racing surface. Racing surface is basically considered the racetrack here. If you go out where the grandstands would be or where the grass is over on the back straightaway, that is considered out of bounds. When you're eliminated, you're eliminated. You no longer continue on in the event, but if you manage to survive from one round to the next and make it up until all 40 entrants have been entered into this event, then after the 40th entry comes in and that lap is completed, we will have a 10-lap shootout. All remaining entries that have survived up to that point will battle it out for 10 laps. The first driver to the checkered flag will be declared the winner of the 8th annual NNSCRA Royal Rumble. We have had 7 different Royal Rumbles, 6 different winners. Only 1 driver has been able to win multiple Royal Rumbles. That was Charles Jackson, doing it in the 3rd and 4th annual Royal Rumble. And we have, to my knowledge, 2, I believe it's 2, of our former Royal Rumble winners in this event. I'm looking at the list right now. I apologize. Only 1 former Royal Rumble winner in this event. We'll have to see if he's going to be able to go back-to-back. The odds not in his favor. Without further ado, though, let's go down trackside and let's get this thing started, see which drivers drew entry number 1 and entry number 2. So here we go then. Entry number 1 is officially the number 2 of John Demon. Entry number 2, officially the number 75 of Aaron Carlson. 2 drivers making their debut in the NNSCRA Royal Rumble. And they've got quite a task ahead of them as they're going to have to survive another 39 rounds before making it to the final 10-lap shootout. Green flags in the air, and the 8th annual Royal Rumble is green. Let's roll! Remember, it's only 1 lap. It used to be these drivers made 2 laps and then moved on to the next round. It's only 1 lap this time. So we'll have to see as the 2 of John Demon tucks in line behind Aaron Carlson. Will he try and eliminate him? Usually the target for the drivers that try and eliminate somebody is they try and get behind them and try and get them in the left rear quarter panel heading into the turns. We'll see if the 2 tries that here. Gets right up onto the back bumper, but pretty even with the back bumper of the 75. Now you see him peeking a little bit lower, trying to hook that left rear quarter panel, but doesn't look like it's going to work. Both drivers look like they're going to survive and make it into the next round. And you don't really get any points or anything for winning a round here. It's just basically you survive and move on to the next round. So now let's see who's going to draw entry number 3. Entry number 3 going to be the number 57, the former Pizza Hut X Series champion, Benny Watson. Benny Watson also had a record year as a rookie in the Hershey's Cup Series, and now taking part here in the Royal Rumble at entry number 3. You'll notice on the on the right side of your screen, I should say, is going to be a list showing you the drivers that enter in at their respective numbers. And if they are highlighted in red, that means they have been eliminated from the Royal Rumble up to this point. But we've only had 3 entries. This is really only our second round. Another thing that these drivers like to do, too, is they like to get the moniker of most drivers eliminated. We've had several drivers do that during the course of our Royal Rumble events. Very few of them have been able to make it to the 10-lap shootout, but a lot of drivers like to have that as a little bit of a milestone, being the driver that eliminates the most drivers in this Royal Rumble event. But you see right here, they're minding the P's and Q's. They're all going to remain single file, Watson, Demon, and Carlson, all ensuring that they're going to make it on to the next round of this event. So it looks like they will all come to the checkered flag. They'll all move on to the next round, and that will bring in entry number 4. And that'll be the 03 of the former Last of Us Light series driver, Jonathan Wong. You'll notice that these drivers, when they line up here for these respective rounds, they're really in no particular order. It's not going to be the entry number 1 starts on the pole for each one of these rounds. It's basically done at random. And also, we got to figure out the magic number. If I remember correctly, last year in the 7th annual Royal Rumble, it was either 6 or 7 cars. When we had 6 or 7 cars on track, that's when we started seeing eliminations take place. It's when the track got really wadded up and we started to see drivers make moves that got people eliminated. We've only got 4 trucks on track right now, so I don't think we're necessarily going to see eliminations at this point. It's when they all start wadding up that we're going to start to see wrecks and we're going to start to see drivers go out of bounds. You can see right there that double white line, or that dotted white line, that is considered the out of bounds there off of turn 4. I said it was a yellow line in the rules, but it's actually a dotted white line, as all 4 entries will make it to the next round. We're starting to fill up, it's starting to get interesting here in the Royal Rumble. Let's see who entry number 5 is. And it's going to be the number 50, the former Hershey's Cup Series Daytona 500 winner, Dallas McIntosh. There you see him on the top side of the front row. 5 cars on track, and look at this, Benny Watson getting close to the back bumper of Jonathan Wong. He's going to step down low, though, doesn't really get close to that left rear quarter panel. I mentioned the fact that we've had 7 Royal Rumbles, 6 different winners, and only 1 driver that has formally won this event is in the lineup here today. We don't know what entry he's going to come in as. Ooh, right there, that was John Demon. 2 tires down on that yellow line. Remember, you can put 2 tires down below the yellow line, still not be eliminated. It's when all 4 tires go below that yellow line, and all 5 of these entries will move on. We're getting close to that number 6. We're going to see if 6 drivers on track is going to lead to an elimination. And with every entry that gets on track, my blood pressure just goes up a little bit higher, because I've done these for a number of years. I know what happens. As entry number 6, you see the number 18 of Preston Plord, who had a career year in the Coors Light Truck Series last season. He's going to go 3 wide there, putting Aaron Carlson in the middle, John Demon way up top. Look there, as Demon kind of forced Jonathan Wong in the 03 way up the track. You don't want to get up that high. Ooh, they're moving around here on the back straightaway. Ooh, there might have been some contact right there. Benny Watson and Aaron Carlson. Carlson almost got Watson in the right rear, pushing him into turn 3. Nice save on the part of Benny Watson, keeping his hopes alive. These drivers here, as you're looking at them, they have the slimmest chance of making it into that 10-lap shootout at the end with drawing all these early entries, but it looks like somehow, some way, after a close call in the back straightaway, all 6 of them are going to make it into the next round. That's going to bring in entry number 7. Entry number 7 going to be the number 5 of Zach Flickinger, and I think our editing crew are kind of sitting back right now. They haven't had to post anybody eliminated, but I hope that they haven't fallen asleep, because I think we're getting close to having our first elimination here in this year's Royal Rumble. We had a near miss with Benny Watson back in the last round. Another thing that we also have, we talked about drivers trying to have the most eliminations. Ooh, look at Jonathan Wong back there on John Demon's left rear quarter panel. We also have drivers want to be the Iron Man of the Royal Rumble, last the most rounds. And right now, that would be Aaron Carlson and John Demon, who both came in entries number 1 and 2. I don't like what they look like on this high side here. Demon in the back bumper of Flickinger, Wong in the back bumper of John Demon. And you got Preston Plord on the back bumper of Dallas McIntosh down low. Oh, look out! This does not look good! There it goes! Oh, one's upside down! Are they going to get eliminated? Oh, I think McIntosh is out of bounds. Preston Plord's still inbounds, to my knowledge. Yeah, McIntosh is out of bounds. He's on his roof, and he's gone out of bounds. He's eliminated. Preston Plord, he's got 2 tires down below that yellow line. He's got to keep those left sides on the, or I'm sorry, the right sides on the other side of the yellow line. He cannot go on the apron. Preston, what are you doing? Oh no, is he going to stop? Oh no, if Preston teleports to pit road, then he's eliminated. If he just made it to the start-finish line, he'd still be in, and he does teleport. Preston Plord's eliminated, along with Dallas McIntosh. So it looks like 5 drivers going to make their way into the next round as McIntosh and Plord will make an early exit from this Royal Rumble. As you look at what happened, courtesy of our side-by-side, I'm being told that both eliminations have been given to the 2 of John Demon. So 2 eliminations so far for entry number 1 as James Qualls in the number 15 comes in at entry number 8. So we still have 6 trucks on track. So John Demon already 2 eliminations, eliminating entries number 5 and 6, McIntosh and Preston Plord. And we may have another elimination right there. James Qualls nearly got eliminated by Aaron Carlson, who was close to that left rear quarter panel. And I don't know if you saw it there in that replay as well, but John Demon, while he did manage to eliminate 2 of his opponents, he almost eliminated himself. He was down there 2 tires below that dotted white line off turn 4. That's a risk that you run here when you try and eliminate people. You may very well eliminate yourself from the Royal Rumble in the process of trying to eliminate your opponents. Ooh, Flickinger close call, and what in the world is Carlson doing? He almost just eliminated himself. He was close to going below that dotted white line. He's barely going to make it, I think, to the line 4 wide as they cross the stripe. Boy, that was close right there. So let's bring in entry number 9. And they're going to wreck afterwards, but it doesn't matter. They still all made it. Entry number 9 is going to be the 33 of Ace Garcia. And remember, it was when we had 7 entries that we had our first 2 eliminations, 7 trucks on track at this point in time. See Benny Watson there around the outside going to get in front of Zach Flickinger. I gotta think probably the front is the safest place to be here in this field, because when they get to the middle of the pack, they have been crazy the last couple of rounds. And that 2 of John Demon lurking right there. Jonathan Wong now going to the inside of Qualls. Back here is where we got to keep an eye on, because this is where stuff could happen. Ooh, Ace Garcia got close to the left rear quarter panel of Aaron Carlson. I don't like the way that the 2 is on the back bumper of the 0-3, to be perfectly honest. Looks like they're all going to settle it out, and for the first time today, we may end up having as many as 8 trucks on track, as Watson's going to lead them back to the line, and we are now going to reach the quarter of the way through the Royal Rumble. In comes entry number 10. And that 10th entry is going to be the number 24 of Nathan Ormond. We're now a quarter of the way through the Royal Rumble, and we have the most trucks we've had on track all day, 8 in total. Gonna fan out here. Oh, contact! Oh, I think, yes, John Demon is out! And now he's going to go up and try and eliminate some others! And he's going to go off track himself. I don't think he eliminated anyone except himself. He was already eliminated. Now, that is a rule that takes place here in the Royal Rumble. If you get eliminated, you still have the completion of the lap to eliminate anybody else you want to. And I think he was trying to eliminate Ace Garcia and Aaron Carlson, and I think they both managed to still stay on track. So John Demon is the only one right now that is out of the Royal Rumble of this group. Oh, Watson! Watson just eliminated himself! He just got blocked down below the double white line, courtesy of James Qualls. Watson is also out of this event. It'll be interesting to see if they give the credit of that elimination to Qualls or if they have Watson eliminating himself. But we've had 2 eliminations in this round, and in comes entry number 11. As you take a look at what happened, the replay of that last round, entry number 11 is going to be the number 46 of Chloe Erickson. We also should mention the fact that the elimination of John Demon being credited to the 24 of Nathan Ormond. The elimination of Benny Watson is indeed being credited to James Qualls, as he kind of bumper grabbed the 57 and put him down below that double white, or that dotted white line. So green flag in the air here for our next round. So at this point, with the elimination of John Demon, the car you're looking at right here, the truck of Aaron Carlson right now is your Iron Man. He's been in since the very first round. This is his 10th round that he has made it to. Look at that outside line there, with Flickinger, Ormond, Garcia all getting around that inside line, which all broke up when Chloe Erickson moved low, Jonathan Wong moved low. Looks like they're going to be pretty mindful of each other here. Erickson getting close to that dotted white line. Don't want to do that, as Benny Watson will attest to. It looks like they'll all make it to the start-finish line, so we're going to have another 8 trucks on track here, as here comes entry number 12. And that 12th entry, the number 20 of Kyle Langland. You see that purple and yellow machine there, third on the inside line. 8 trucks on track yet again. And it's going to be interesting to see here because James Qualls and Nathan Ormond each have an elimination apiece. Right now, the driver with the most eliminations at 2 is John Demon, but he is out of this race, so we'll have to see if someone's going to be able to pass him for most eliminations in this event. We already alluded to the fact Aaron Carlson right now has the longest amount of time in this Royal Rumble. And a lot of stuff happens here on the back straightaway. Let's see if it happens here with these 8 trucks all fanning out. That outside line bunched up there with Qualls and Wong and Carlson. Something could happen there. Maybe here into 3. Ooh, I think there might have been some door banging there between Langland and Chloe Erickson. Let's drop back here because this is where it could all happen. Let's see if something happens in the tri-oval, or will we have a highest 9 drivers on track at one point here? If they all can make it back to the start-finish line, they will. Oh my goodness, 9 drivers, as we will have our 13th entrance come on track. And it's going to be the 08 of Zachary Fitzwater, who will be coming in at entry number 13. 9 trucks on track, the most we've had here today. And I said it was all at random, but I've been very surprised of how many times in these rounds the 5 car has started on point. So we got to see if that's going to help Zach Flickinger in his quest to try and make it to that final 10-lap shootout. 9 trucks. You got to think something's going to happen here, or will they all be able to survive? Ooh, Carlson tried to get rid of Qualls. Qualls hangs on to it. So far, so good for these guys, but that was a close one there in turns 1 and 2. Look at Kyle Langland there on the bottom. We're going to drop back here to this group because Flickinger's way out ahead, and this is where something could happen. They fan out 3 wide. I'd watch out for that 46 and that 33. If Garcia closes up on the back of Erickson, he could maybe do something. Ooh, Erickson flirting with that dotted white line again. And somehow they're all going to make it, it looks like. We're going to have 10 trucks on track. It's getting scarier and scarier with every entrant that comes onto the track. Bring in entry number 14. Well, 1 year ago, it was a mano-a-mano in the final 10-lap shootout. The eventual winner, Diego Yepes, and the runner-up was Austin LaPlante, who comes into this one at entry number 14, driving that number 4 Square D Dodge, or Chevy, or something. I'm not sure what manufacturer it is. It doesn't matter. 10 drivers here to take the green for this round. LaPlante trying to finish 1 position better than he did last year, the runner-up in the Royal Rumble 1 year ago. Those guys back there, Flickinger and Wong and Ormond, they look like they're the smartest guys. Hang at the back. Wait till something happens up here, and something might. Ooh, some door banging, possibly some rubbing there between Garcia and Qualls as they're going to sit Carlson way up on the top side. They're 3 wide, 3 rows deep. Something's got to happen off turn 4. You got to feel it. Oh, are they all going to make it? Can we have as many as 11 drivers? Oh no, Flickinger just eliminated himself. Zach Flickinger's out. Oh, and he just got almost hooked. And there goes a couple of cars off track. Langland, Wong, Erickson, they're all out. They're all eliminated. Well, they waited till about the tri-oval for something to happen, but 4 drivers are eliminated, and in comes entry number 15. Well, there you see on the right side of your screen, the eliminations begin to pile up as entry number 15 will be the 07 of Joshua Lee starting on point here. Document the drivers that got eliminated here. Zach Flickinger is getting credited for eliminating himself, and we now have a driver that has taken the lead in most eliminations. Those 3 eliminations of Erickson, Langland, and Jonathan Wong getting credited to Nathan Ormond, who had also eliminated entry number 1, John Demon. So Nathan Ormond in the 24 is up to 4 total eliminations so far in this Royal Rumble. Ace Garcia, oh, we're going to go 4 wide. We are. That's Fitzwater there in the middle with Lee. Ormond up top, and I thought we were going to go 4 wide. Garcia couldn't get a good enough run to be able to make it 4 wide. As off turn 4, whoo, that was close there. Fitzwater with Lee, Qualls with Fitzwater, all close to the left rear quarter panels, and it looks like they're all going to make it. So let's bring in entry number 16. Well, just a couple entries ago, we had last year's runner-up, Austin LaPlante. Well, the driver that he lost to, the defending winner of the Royal Rumble, Diego Yepes, in the number 21, comes in at entry number 16, so he's got quite a task ahead of himself to try and become a back-to-back Royal Rumble winner. Only one driver, as I mentioned, has won multiple Royal Rumbles, and he did it in back-to-back seasons, that being Charles Jackson. Diego Yepes is the only former Royal Rumble winner returning here to the event this year, and ooh, Ormond trying to get another elimination. He almost hooked James Qualls there out of turn 2. Fitzwater on the back bumper of Ormond. 3 wide behind them there. LaPlante in the middle, Garcia down low. And how about Aaron Carlson coming in at entry number 2? He's survived up to this point so far. Currently 15 rounds. The 75 truck has been able to make it. Looks like they're all going to make it to the start-finish line. So now it's time to bring in our next entry. We're going to have 9 trucks on track again. Here comes entry number 17. Entry 17, the number 52 of Kyle Matthews. And I was looking at the fact that Aaron Carlson has almost made it to the halfway point of this Royal Rumble. I know for absolute certain that statistically entries 1 and 2 have never made it to the 10-lap shootout, but I don't have the statistic, and I apologize for who the earliest entry was to make it to the 10-lap shootout in Royal Rumble history. I don't know for absolute certain who that was. I do know that a number of them, though, are usually those that come in the final 10 entries. We're going to drop back mid-pack again, because that's usually where everything seems to happen. Look at this with Garcia. Ooh, and he's going to eliminate himself and Austin LaPlante. LaPlante on his roof. He's out. Hard hit. Oh, we got more eliminations. That's Fitzwater, Qualls, Joshua Lee. And they may have been eliminated by Kyle Matthews. And just like that, 9 drivers will turn to 4, making it back to the start-finish line. I'm not 100% certain who eliminated who in that second group. Make sure Matthews makes it back. He does. I think he's still in. Let's bring in entry number 18, and we'll look at the replay at the same time. Next entry number 18, going to be Joshua Sekuli in the number 31. As you look at the replays of what took place on that last round, we're being told that the eliminations of both Austin LaPlante and Ace Garcia are going to be credited to Garcia, so Garcia will have 2 eliminations. Unfortunately, eliminated himself, and LaPlante, who was runner-up last year, is not going to make it to the 10-lap shootout this time, and Kyle Matthews is going to get credited for the eliminations of Joshua Lee, Zachary Fitzwater, and James Qualls, so comes into the round, eliminates 3 drivers. So Kyle Matthews making an impact here. He's 1 elimination behind Nathan Ormond, who has the most eliminations so far, that 24 truck, with 4 drivers eliminated so far. And with only 5 trucks on track, not a surprise they're all running single file. Looks like they're all going to make it back to the start-finish line. We're going to basically go back into the process of building the pack back up as we bring in now entry number 19. Entry 19 going to be the number 91 of Anthony Lopez. And with his entry into this, that is 18 rounds, that Aaron Carlson has been able to survive up to this point. I don't think we've ever had entries 1 and 2 ever make it even to the halfway point of the Royal Rumble. So if Aaron Carlson can survive this round, he will have set a precedent that no other driver has had, with entry number 2 making it to the second half of the Royal Rumble. He's also trying to set a precedent to be the first driver coming in at entries 1 and 2 to ever make it to the 10-lap shootout. Diego Yepes going for back-to-back Royal Rumbles. He almost got eliminated, and there goes the 91 of Lopez. Matthews, Ormond, all eliminated as well. In one fell swoop, 3 more eliminations. It's going to be interesting to see how they scored that one, because I don't know who exactly it was that started that bumper grab. Whether it was Yepes in the 21 or Matthews in the 52, but let's bring in entry number 20. We're halfway through the Royal Rumble. Halfway through the Royal Rumble, entry number 20. One of the guys that made this event possible, one of our donors on the GoFundMe, the number 72 of Jesse Turner. And I'm being told that the eliminations that just took place in that last round that you're looking at are getting credited to Anthony Lopez. So not only does Lopez get 3 eliminations, which ties in with Kyle Matthews for second most here today, he also eliminated Matthews, so Matthews cannot increase his elimination total. He eliminated the current elimination leader of 4, Nathan Ormond, so he cannot increase, but he also set a precedent up to this point. He is, oh, and look out! Can they save it? There goes Yepes! He won't go back-to-back, and Carlson's out as well. But I was going to mention the fact about Anthony Lopez. He has been the driver with the least amount of time in the Royal Rumble, getting eliminated in the round he came in at. But Diego Yepes is eliminated. His Royal Rumble hopes of back-to-back are gone, and Carlson will have survived 19 rounds, and now he is eliminated. Here comes entry number 21. And entry number 21 going to be another of our donors, the number 1 of James Shelley. And I'm being told that the eliminations that we saw take place there of Aaron Carlson, who managed to survive 19 rounds, and the defending Royal Rumble winner, Diego Yepes, that's going to be both credited to the 72 of Jesse Turner. So Turner is up to 2 eliminations. So at this point in time, out of the 3 you see right there, the driver that's on track that's been out there the longest is actually Joshua Sakuli. This is his 4th round so far, coming in at entry number 18. So entries 1 through 17 already gone. And we're going to be, this will be, I guess you could call it the boring part, because you're going to see these drivers give each other a lot of room. As I've stated, this is the building up process, getting us back up to 7, 8, 9 drivers, where the chaos will begin again. So expect for the next couple of rounds, not a whole lot to take place here as we start to bring in the entries for the second half of this Royal Rumble. And let's start that right now and bring in entry number 22. 22nd entry is going to be the number 86. Former multi-time winner in the Pizza X Series, Alex Gray. And now as we start to close in towards the end of our 40 participants, the odds get greater and greater of the drivers you see making it to that 10-lap shootout. Oh, Gray is on the back bumper of Sakuli. Boy, I thought he was going to eliminate the 31, or at least attempt to, and he might have gotten James Shelley for his troubles. Shelley, a former Pizza X Series champion. And now Sakuli is going to go to the inside of Jesse Turner. Shelley got close to the back bumper of Alex Gray. I'm surprised these guys are as aggressive as they are right now, but I guess they're realizing their odds of making it into the next round gets fewer and fewer with every new entry that comes in and the building up of this pack once more. It looks like all 4 of them will make it, so now it's going to be, ooh, wait a minute. Nope, they all crossed the line. I thought Shelley might eliminate Alex Gray. Here comes entry number 23. 23rd entrant is going to be Josh Drake in the number 28, former driver in the Last of Us Light series. 5 drivers on track, and usually, as we've seen, it's taken about 7, 8, 9 trucks on track for something to happen, but they were awfully aggressive in that last round. We'll see how aggressive they're going to be here in this round as we draw closer and closer towards the 3/4 mark of this Royal Rumble. And these drivers realizing that maybe now's the time to eliminate an opponent you might be up against in the 10-lap shootout if you manage to make it that far. Oh boy, Alex Gray tried to squeeze up there in front of Jesse Turner. Turner had none of it. Now he's going to fall to the back. Could be the safest spot on the racetrack, in my opinion. Either right out in front where Shelley is or right at the back where Turner is. If you're in the middle, you're in the eye of the hurricane. Well, actually, no, that's not a bad thing. If you're in the eye of the hurricane, it's calm. You're in the hurricane. Let's say that. It looks like these 5 entries will make it to the start-finish line. It's time to bring in entry number 24. So now 6 trucks on track with the addition of entry number 24, Andrew Miller. And yeah, he knows something or other about trucks. He won the Coors Light Truck Series Championship last season. And now with 6 drivers on the racetrack, now it's starting to build up. So this is where we start to have the blood pressure go up again. The heart rate starts to go up. Shelley, I thought, might get close to maybe getting turned by Sakuli. Sakuli's going to go to the inside, up the middle 3 wide. So far, giving each other room. You look on the right side of your screen there, though, and the whole first half of this field, all in red, all eliminated. Right now, Sakuli, the only driver on track that is from the first half. Well, I guess you could say Jesse Turner as well, who came in entry number 20. Wow, that was close off that corner. I thought Sakuli and Gray might have a little bit of a brouhaha, but it's like these 6 will make it to the line. Ooh, Shelley crowding Josh Drake down there on the bottom. Close call through the tri-oval. Here comes entry number 25. Entry 25 going to be Levi McIntyre driving the number 8 Dodge. And for those of you that have been with this channel since day one, you'll recognize that truck. It's the car that won the very first championship on this channel back in Season 1 of the Oreo Truck Series when Robert Band took the championship. Ooh, Sakuli! Contact! Did he save it? He did! Almost eliminated by Levi McIntyre. Great save by Sakuli, keeping his hopes alive as we nearly had an elimination here. Sakuli, the last of a dying breed, if you will. He and Jesse Turner, the only 2 that are survived from the first half of this field. Entry number 18 for Sakuli, entry number 20 for Turner. And Sakuli was nearly just taken out. McIntyre wasting no time as he came into the field and set right to work on trying to eliminate somebody. But it looks like as the dust settles, all of these drivers will make it back to the line. Look at Shelley right on the back bumper of Josh Drake as they'll come to the checkered flag. Here's entry number 26. How about this for inverted numbers? Entry number 26 is going to be the 62 of Bobby Frazier. He knows something about winning special races on the channel. He won the Indy Lights 250, which got him a locked-in spot into the Indianapolis 500. And we'll see if he can make it into that 10-lap shootout and pick up his second special event win on this channel as, ooh, Sakuli close. Well, maybe not that close. He's getting closer to the left rear quarter panel of Frazier. McIntyre right behind him, and keep in mind, this is every man for himself. You see Chevys and Dodges and Fords all behind each other. They're not helping each other. They're all trying to eliminate each other. There's no friends here in the Royal Rumble. Boy, McIntyre wants Sakuli gone. That's the second time he's shoved him up the track in the last 2 rounds. Wow, Josh Drake. 2 left sides below that dotted white line, but he keeps the other right sides on the racing surface. And it looks like they're all going to make it. Oh, man, we're going to have, I believe, what is it going to be, 9 drivers in the next round. Here comes entry 27. Wake up, replay, guys. I think we're going to be putting you back to work as our 27th entry in the forefront there, the number 29 of Alexander Rowe. 9 drivers on track at this point. But will there be 9 when we get back to the start-finish line? Something tells me no. Oh, look at Turner back there. He almost got into the left rear of Levi McIntyre. You got to look everywhere in this pack because you never know who's going to make a move that might eliminate somebody. It could happen at the front. It could happen in the middle. It could happen at the back. I don't like the way this looks heading into turn 3. Oh, boy. Ooh, almost 4 wide. Gray trying to get to the outside of Sakuli. Andrew Miller on the bottom there. James Shelley. Shelley's eliminated. Shelley eliminated himself. These drivers have to be aware that that dotted white line is out of bounds, and Shelley just eliminated himself from the Royal Rumble. Here comes entry number 28. And the departure of James Shelley brings in our 28th entrant, the number 51 of Zach Winkle. You get so into a zone here of trying to make it back to the start-finish line. I think these drivers are forgetting that that dotted white line off turn 4 is out of bounds. Shelley went across it. We saw Benny Watson eliminate himself when he went across it. Just so much to remember here in the process of trying to keep yourself from being eliminated. I hope James Shelley has a Blame Shelley insurance form for that because he just took himself out of a chance of winning this Royal Rumble. Shelley, who came in at entry number 21, had survived up to that point 7 rounds. Oh, Sakuli! He's got Turner! They are going to save. Some of them are. Oh, look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this! 31 is still in, he's still in. Winkle is out. I think Sakuli might have to teleport. Drake is out. I don't know if Gray is out. We're going to have to look at the replay, see who's out of this one, because that was a lot of stuff to take in. I think Rowe's okay. I think that McIntyre and Turner are okay. Here comes entry number 29. Entry number 29 going to be the number 6 of Johnny Gardner. And I'm being told the 3 eliminations that took place there, with Joshua Sakuli eliminating himself, as well as Josh Drake, Zach Winkle, that's going to be credited to Joshua Sakuli. Sakuli survived 10 rounds here in the Royal Rumble. Certainly a far cry from what Aaron Carlson's been able to do. He's already been eliminated, but he had survived 19 rounds before he was eliminated. And the truck you're looking at right now, Jesse Turner, is now the driver that's been out there the longest since coming in at entry number 20. He's currently, right now, in his 9th round. Out of turn 4, looks like even the 3 wide, they're giving each other some room. So it looks like we're going to have at least 8 trucks in the next round. Oh, wait a minute. Wow! 62 of Bobby Frazier got close to maybe eliminating Jesse Turner. Did not, though. Let's bring in entry number 30. Now 75% of the way through this Royal Rumble with the emergence of our 30th entrance, the 00 of Elijah Gordon. And as I'm looking here and we're getting down to the close of this, talked about the longevity record. Looks like that's easily going to be Aaron Carlson. As far as the elimination record, I'm not really sure anybody's going to top Nathan Ormond, who had 4 eliminations in this event. The only driver on track right now that even has 1 elimination to his credit, and that's Jesse Turner, and he's only got 1. I'm not sure anybody's going to be able to eliminate 5, as that was just elimination right there. That was Jesse Turner. He comes back across the track. Now, we got to look back and find out about Levi McIntyre. He's the one that eliminated Turner, but did he also have all 4 tires under that yellow line? He may not have only taken out Turner, but may have also taken out himself. We're going to have to wait for the official word from NNSCRA officials, who are going to be obviously keeping track to see if indeed McIntyre will move on to the next round or not. But we know for certain Jesse Turner won't, as Turner is eliminated, and now we bring in entry number 31. So now as we bring in the final 10 drivers of this event with the 31st entrant, the 9 of Simon Bloomfield, you can see down on the bottom left of your screen the replay with what happened between McIntyre and Turner, and NNSCRA officials having several camera angles at their disposal, determining that indeed, you'll see from a couple of these angles that right rear tire of Levi McIntyre did indeed go all the way below the yellow line. So McIntyre is eliminated, Jesse Turner is eliminated. Both eliminations are going to be credited to Levi McIntyre. And we're basically right now left with only 7 drivers on track and 9 more drivers yet to join. I have a feeling we're still going to have more eliminations before all is said and done and we get that 40th entrant. Bobby Frazier on the back bumper of Elijah Gordon there, looking maybe to do something. Alex Gray has a rear deck lid full of, I think that's the 54, Andrew Miller. As it looks like they'll make it to the start-finish line. Gardner up the middle, and indeed they will. Here comes entry number 32. A lot of red and white trucks out there as our 32nd entry, the number 16 of Nathan Hudson. And you got to think, what's the mentality of these drivers right now? Do they want to mind their P's and Q's to make it to that final 10-lap shootout, or do they want to eliminate who could be their competitor making it a 10-lap shootout? But we saw what happened with Levi McIntyre. Yeah, he eliminated Jesse Turner, but he took himself out as well. And I got to say that McIntyre incident was probably the closest we've had today in terms of the officials having to make a call. Most of the other eliminations have been very cut and dry, very easy calls. And are we going 4 wide into 3 here? That's Gray and Frazier bumping against each other, banging doors. We settle it back out to 3 wide, and this does not look like a good thing coming off turn 4. Miller getting close to the left rear quarter panel of Gordon. Gives him room. Looks like we're going to be okay here down through the tri-oval. So we're going to have... Whoa, look at the 29 of Rowe going way up the track. He doesn't want anybody to eliminate him. as we're almost 4 wide coming to the line. Here comes entry number 33. And it's the last of the gentlemen that made this event possible. Our third donor, Michael Norman in the number 88 Menard Chevrolet. Only 7 more drivers left to enter, but we've got 9 drivers on track here, and we've seen it all race long, where the more accumulation of drivers we have on track, the likelier the chances that we're going to have an elimination, as Norman almost got Andrew Miller there. And in regards to that, then Simon Bloomfield almost got Norman. Oh, and Norman's going to get Miller, and there goes Miller. He's out. Elijah Gordon is out, and Michael Norman is also just eliminated himself. Look at Bloomfield. He's trying to get the 6 of Gardner. 3 eliminations. I'm assuming all 3 of them going to be credited to Michael Norman, but I think Norman just set the record for the shortest amount of time in the Royal Rumble here today. And they will make it to the line, the remaining 6 drivers, as here comes in entry number 34. And our 34th entrant, the 23 of Jose Mills. And prior to what just happened, as you're seeing the replay here with Norman, Miller, and Gordon's eliminations, it was actually Anthony Lopez that, I'm sorry, not Anthony Lopez, let me rephrase that. It was actually, yeah, it was Anthony Lopez, I'm sorry. It was Anthony Lopez who had the shortest amount of time in the Royal Rumble, getting eliminated over in turn 3 on the first lap of his round, while Michael Norman, we saw, got eliminated here in the middle of the back straightaway. He now holds the shortest amount of time in today's Royal Rumble. So certainly not the Royal Rumble he was looking for sure, although he is going to get credited with 3 eliminations. That ties him for second with most in this event, and there's going to be a couple more. There goes the 23, the 86, the 9, that's Bloomfield, Gray, also Hudson, and also Jose Mills, who had just entered into this event. So he gets eliminated in the first round that he appears in, and that leaves us only 3 moving on. Here comes entry number 35. Gatlin Downey, the number 59, enters into entry number 35, and as you look at the replay, all 4 eliminations getting credited to the 86 of Alex Gray. Gray had survived since entry number 22, so last round he was in his 11th round, so that, I believe, puts him second longest in terms of longevity in this Royal Rumble, and also he managed to tie Nathan Ormond for most eliminations at 4. Ormond had 4, and now Gray has 4. Question is, will somebody have 5 by the time we get to the end? The odds not really in favor of that, because we've only got 5 more drivers left to enter, which will give us a total of possibly 9 drivers moving on to the final 10-lap shootout. Right there, like Gatlin Downey wanted to tuck in front of Bobby Frazier. Frazier having none of it. And all 4 of these competitors look like are going to move on. We're going to talk about Bobby Frazier in just a moment, but as these drivers cross the line, let's bring in entry number 36. Lane Keys, number 78, will be the 36th entry, and I said I was going to talk about Bobby Frazier, but I've actually talked about 3 particular drivers. We know for certain that Aaron Carlson's record of 19 rounds today is not going to be broken, but there is a chance for someone to jump up to second. We mentioned already that Alex Gray was in for 11 rounds. There are 3 drivers that came in ahead of entry number 29 or on entry number 29 that can make it all the way to the end and either tie or beat second highest, longest amount in this Royal Rumble in terms of rounds. Johnny Gardner came in at entry number 29, so he's got to make it all the way to the end to tie. However, the 62 of Bobby Frazier, the 29 of Alexander Rowe came in entries 26 and 27. So they are close to very easily jumping up to what would be a second and third highest amount of time here in the Royal Rumble. And if Frazier gets eliminated or Rowe gets eliminated, then one or the other would probably take second place completely for themselves. But it's a line of red trucks leading it to the line here. Entry number 37 ready to join the fray. And it'll be the 27 of Nicholas Romero, easiest truck to find in this field because he's the one that doesn't have red on it, that black and yellow truck back there. And with the emergence of Romero at entry 37, only 3 more drivers left to join. Can they make it? All these drivers make it to the final round. It's usually when we hit 8, 9, 10 drivers on track, we start to see multi-eliminations. Well, if everybody survives to the 10-lap shootout, there would be 9 drivers on track. And Right now, with the way they're pushing each other into 3, maybe that's not going to be the case. Oh, look at this, Rowe! Ooh, he almost got eliminated there. Which car is that? That's the 78 of Blaine Keys that was trying to eliminate him. So many red trucks, it's hard to tell who is who until you look at the number. What in the world was Nicholas Romero doing, almost eliminating himself? We've seen several drivers do that today. You don't want to do that when you're this close to making it a 10-lap shootout. Looks like they'll all survive. Here comes entry 38. Up to 7 drivers to take the green, as entry number 38 is number 14 of Eric Sadler. Just 2 more entries to go. Boy, to be so close and to get eliminated here in the final 3 rounds would be so disheartening for these drivers, but we just have to see how aggressive they're going to be. We've had a couple near misses in the last few rounds. Bobby Frazier trying to get rid of Eric Sadler immediately there on the top side. They fan out down the back straightaway. Rowe going way down low. Gatlin Downey right behind him. They're going to be, looks like 3 wide going down here into 3. This is where trouble usually can break out with someone able to get to someone else's left rear quarter panel. 14 and 27. Oh, the 14. I thought he was going to get eliminated. A little bit of movement there out of Gatlin Downey. He might have bumper grabbed either off Blaine Keys or off of Alexander Rowe. Close call for the 59. And with a lot of movement through 3 and 4, still everybody keeps their trucks under them. They're going to make it to the line. No, they're not! Oh my goodness, 3 eliminations. Hard hit for Eric Sadler, as well as Blaine Keys. They were both eliminated, along with another truck. I failed to see who it was. I think it would have been Nicholas Romero, and that was just before the start-finish line. They had to cross the line. They didn't. 3 drivers eliminated. Let's bring in entry number 39. Well, entry number 39 will be Carter Friesen, number 53, but I'm still in shock with what we just saw. You could see from the replay, if those 3 had spun over the line after crossing the start-finish line, they'd still be in, but Keys, Romero, and Sadler, who were the last 3 entries, in at spots 36 through 38, all eliminated. All 3 eliminations getting credited to Eric Sadler, so he'll jump up to a tie for second most eliminations here today. But you got to think now, with only 5 trucks on track and 1 more entry left to go, these are probably going to be the drivers you're going to see battling in that 10-lap shootout. I say probably. Doesn't necessarily mean that's going to be the case. We could very well have an elimination in this round as soon as just before the start-finish line, as the last round showed us, or in the next round when our 40th entrant will enter into this event. But I think we are going to have these 5 at least make it into the next round. And by the way, Bobby Frazier, with the completion of this, has now made it to his 13th completed round. Alexander Rowe, his 12th. Let's bring in the final entry for the Royal Rumble. And the final entrant will be John Andrews, the number 17, coming in at the entry number 40, lucky number 40. 1 more lap until we determine who's going to battle in that 10-lap shootout. And we know now Aaron Carlson will have the longest amount of time in the Royal Rumble with 19 rounds. And if Bobby Frazier and Alexander Rowe both survive, then Alexander Rowe will be 3rd longest with 13 rounds, and Bobby Frazier will be 2nd highest with 14 rounds. So great showing by a number of drivers here today, showing how to survive in the Royal Rumble. Question is, can these 6 survive here through 3 and 4 and make it back to the start-finish line? It's like they're giving each other lots of space, so I think they all are basically determining they're going to be the 6 that are going to battle it out to win this year's Royal Rumble. We're going to have a guaranteed new winner, as Diego Yepes is out of this event. And there's your 6 that will move on to the 10-lap shootout. Let's head there now and find out who's going to be the 8th annual Royal Rumble winner. So here we go. We could have some history made here today, because I don't think that an entry before entry 30 has ever made it to the final 10-lap shootout in a Royal Rumble. And Bobby Frazier, entry 26, Rowe, entry 27, Johnny Gardner, entry 29. They're in this along with our 35th entry Gatlin Downey, 39th entry Carter Friesen, and 40th entry John Andrews. 10-lap shootout, green flag in the air. Now here's how this works out. There are no out of bounds, but you can wreck your opponent. It's basically survival to fittest. Whoever gets back to the start-finish line when the checker flag waves wins. So you can try spinning out your opponent to take them out of the picture. And they are not eliminated. They can continue on. So say someone spins here on the back straightaway, they can keep going. and still have a shot if the rest of the drivers ahead of them wreck to maybe still sneak out a win. Oh, look at him back here, almost 3 wide. Like I said, we're guaranteed a brand new Royal Rumble winner. Diego Yepes eliminated early in this event. He will not be defending his title. And who's going to join the likes of Yepes, John Arndt, Daniel Foyles, Charles Jackson, Chris Jones, and the inaugural winner, Aaron Williams? Here's Carter Friesen. He's going to take the lead away from Johnny Gardner. Remember, it's every man for himself, so I don't think these drivers are working with each other willingly. I think they're basically thinking, if I help you, it helps me just as well. I think that's exactly what Gatlin Downey was doing. He was pushing Friesen to the lead, so that way he could go to the front himself, and he's got Alexander Rowe in tow. Rowe in tow, that rhymes, and that sounded really strange coming out of my lips. Good John Andrews back there waiting in the wings. And these drivers can now use below that that dotted white line. I don't know why I want to call it a double white line. It's a dotted white line. They can do that now because there are no eliminations. There is no out of bounds here in this 10-lap shootout. 3rd lap that we are on. They completed the 2nd lap. Alexander Rowe showing the way. I think if he or Frazier or Gardner win, they'll be making Royal Rumble history as the earliest entrant to win the Royal Rumble event, because most of our Royal Rumble winners are won by drivers that come in the final 10 entries, usually entries 31 through 40. So a chance for history to be made here today, and 2 of those drivers are 1-2 right now. That's Bobby Frazier peeking out of line. I'm pretty sure the 53 is a Ford, so if he is, we've got 2 Fords, 2 Dodges, and 2 Chevys here in the final 6 in this 10-lap shootout. Lap 3 complete, we're on to lap 4. Still a long ways to go, and very interesting, these drivers, they're racing hard, but they're giving each other a lot of room. Like I said, you can try and spin out a driver. There are no disqualifications. You can do whatever you need to do to win. Nobody really seeming to want to get to somebody's left rear quarter panel. I think a big reason is because we've seen a number of drivers, yeah, they've been able to get up to the top of the leaderboard in eliminations, but they've also eliminated themselves. So I think these drivers don't want to run the risk of taking out an opponent and taking themselves out at the same time. These drivers over 200 miles per hour, so you spin out, try and get back up to speed. It's going to take you a long time. You're going to lose an awful lot of ground. Johnny Gardner now out in front. Then you've got Gatlin Downey there in 2nd, then Carter Friesen in 3rd. It's hard to tell the 2 Dodges apart, the 59 of Downey and the 62 of Frazier. Both of them red trucks and both of them Dodges, so you kind of have to wait to either see the sponsor on the hood or the driver number. Ooh, this looks interesting back here. John Andrews on the left rear quarter panel of Downey, and ooh, he got him loose! He almost got him! Great save there by Gatlin Downey as he shifted up to the high groove, not of his own accord. Nice save. He's still in the hunt, is Gatlin Downey, but he nearly got taken out of the picture by John Andrews. Completion of lap 5. We're on to lap 6. Friesen now to the inside of Johnny Gardner. Alexander Rowe trying to get to the inside of the 6. Is he there? I think he is. Gardner tried to block him. Rowe has Frazier in tow. And now Gardner, with the help of John Andrews, trying to cross over underneath of Friesen. Almost got him in the left rear quarter panel there into 3. Look at the 2 Dodges back there at the rear of the field. Bobby Frazier has Gatlin Downey all over his left rear quarter panel. And there you see the 59. He did go below the dotted white line, but there's no out of bounds. That is perfectly legal here in this 10-lap shootout. As it's going to be Rowe and Gardner. Drag race to the line. Who got it there between those 2? They're saying it was the 29 as we are now on to the 7th lap. Oh, Frazier's looking. Ooh, he was there. He thought about eliminating the 29. How long can these drivers wait? I mean, you can see here, they're all over each other's left rear quarter panels now. They weren't in the first 3 or 4 laps. Now as we get closer, now the anticipation, now the adrenaline, it's pumping up, and these drivers now are starting to think about taking their opponents out. If I were someone, I'd want to be right where John Andrews or Bobby Frazier are right now, at the back of the pack, because up here towards the front in the top 3 or 4, it is absolute bedlam. Completion of lap 7, 3 laps to go here in this 10-lap shootout. Rowe, Friesen behind him. Friesen on the left rear quarter panel. He's on him. Oh, is he going to move him? No, he's not going to be able to move him, but I could see right there was no daylight between the rear bumper of the 29 and the front bumper of the 53. Look at Friesen moving around, trying to figure out what John Andrews behind him's trying to do. Here comes Gardner on the bottom. He almost got in the left rear quarter panel of Andrews. This all going on currently behind Alexander Rowe, who's got the best seat in the house. John Andrews trying to hang on to second. Gardner there with him. Now Andrews going to go low. He might try and take a look on the inside of Alexander Rowe when they get down here into turn 1. 2 laps to go in this race. All 6 competitors still in the hunt. But will all 6 of them be coming to the start-finish line with the checkered flag waves? Right now, it doesn't look like that'll be the case. I think we're going to get some drivers wrecking here before we get to the checkers. Andrews now with help from Gardner. Andrews trying to get the run down the back straightaway here to try to get to the inside of Alexander Rowe. I don't think he's got enough help. Bobby Frazier too far back. Rowe for the moment holding on to the top position. Now they start lining up. Andrews has Frazier behind him. Frazier's got Gatlin Downey. Look at Carter Friesen going way down low, trying to get out of the way of all these guys. As they will see the white flag, 1 more lap to go. Alexander Rowe leading the way. Andrews in second, Frazier in third. Andrews needs help if he's going to make a move here on Alexander Rowe. It might come in the form of Gatlin Downey and Carter Friesen. They get a big run through 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway, who's going to make the move? Friesen's going to make it 3 wide. Downey in the middle. Andrews way up top side. I think Andrews might be able to clear the 59. No, he won't. 59's going to go for second. Gatlin Downey on a charge. Can he get up to Alexander Rowe before they hit the start-finish line? Friesen's right behind him. Gardner there as well. Out of turn 4, Friesen looks low. Gatlin Downey trying to get to the back bumper of the 29. Will he make a move to the inside? He's trying, but he's not there. Alexander Rowe's going to hang on, and he's going to win the 8th annual Royal Rumble event at Talladega No Walls. And they almost wrecked there coming off across the start-finish line. Over there in turn 1, Friesen and Downey banging doors, but Alexander Rowe, he got himself out in front. They continued to battle for second. He controlled the draft, didn't let anyone get a run on him, and Alexander Rowe, who came in at entry number 27, I'm pretty certain that he's going to make history as the earliest entrant in the Royal Rumble to capitalize and take home the win. Aaron Williams, Chris Jones, Charles Jackson, Daniel Voiles, John R. Diego Yepes, and now Alexander Rowe will join that elite list of drivers who have won the Royal Rumble event here on the NNSCRA Sports Channel. What a race, what an event. Man, and it came down to 6 drivers, and how those 6 all managed to make it back to the start-finish line, I will never know. What a nerve-wracking, adrenaline-pumping 10 laps to finish out this race. Doesn't really matter where the other 5 competitors finish, because it's basically just you win and you take the victory in the Royal Rumble. Second place is just as good as last in this kind of race where it's all about winning. But Alexander Rowe, what an event, what a win. Certainly one he's going to remember for the rest of his life. Thank you everyone for tuning into this Royal Rumble event. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the crew today. I certainly enjoyed bringing it to you. If you'd like us to have another special event, the next one on tap is the NNSCRA endurance race at the Charlotte Roval, and that will take place if we manage on the GoFundMe Daytona Dream 2019, link in the description, if we reach the $200 mark. So anything you can donate would certainly be appreciated. Head over to the link that's in the description and donate whatever it is you can. When we reach the $200 mark, that's when the signups will take place, and we'll have our next event, our next special event here on the NNSCRA Sports Channel. Till then, I've been Seth Cole. Thank you so much for tuning in. You have been watching a production of the NNSCRA Offline Race as Best. Alexander Rowe is your official winner of the 8th annual NNSCRA Royal Rumble event. Until next time, I'm out.